Switzerland is not known only for great chocolate and great watches. By no chance, they're also known as the country with the best bankers. Now let's talk a little bit about this. Henrik, please have a seat and introduce yourself.
So, thanks for the flowers, first of all.
Well, when I get to your place, you give me chocolate, so at least
okay.
that's what I can do.
So, perfect. So, thanks for being here. I'm doing private banking business for more than 20 years, so by definition, I'm an old school private banker, and normally an old school private banker would be here on the stage, show some shiny slides, speak about value proposition, and all the people would have the feeling that they are wasting their time. So I had the idea that we should use this slot in a different way and maybe ask someone who is in a special personal situation like Florian what he expects from his bank, what he sees. Is there a value, is there a future?
So Florian,
for
when
this
did you
industry?
become customer of Credit Suisse, and I mean, how did you pick your bank?
I would say those are things I never thought really before, but nonetheless you have to make a choice, and I think this is a lot about getting a personal recommendation, things like that. So we met somehow due to a good friend of mine, and then we just, so a couple of months ago I became a customer. But I think the more important question is what I'm asking the banking business is, I would say, in the last decades, they haven't changed a lot. And it felt like, I got my first bank account when I was a kid, when your parents go with you to the bank in your village, and you have then this account, and you have that almost forever. And now...
With handwritten notes.
Exactly. You're getting a little gift when you put some money in.
No?
Exactly, yeah. And so what do you think? What might the future look like? And are you being a bit scared of this innovation of all the startups and the disruption in the financial sector or fintech?
No, I love it. I love it. In fact, if you would promise me that I would do the same for the next 20 years, I would quit the next day. So for me, it's cool to see what's going on in the fintech industry, but I think the innovation, it's not only a question of digitalization. It's much more of the culture, of the overall behavior, and what you can do for your clients. In that context, you have to have global networks, and for instance, we have strategic partners in the fintech industry in the Valley, also in Hong Kong and in Switzerland, and we are happy to be a partner of NOAH as well, because you have to know the players and the landscape. That's the first. Secondly, if you would like to see what's going on, you have to invest as a bank your own money, which we are doing. With CS Next, we are investing also in fintechs. And on the third thing, most of our clients are entrepreneurs. And for them, they have a special expectation for us, and it's key to understand this.
They are very difficult customers, entrepreneurs, right?
Demanding, I would say, not difficult, demanding.
Well, I guess it's difficult when you cannot serve their demands, but it's simply demanding when you're able to fulfill their demands.
Yeah.
What is, I mean, if you look at all these banks, right, what do you think is the biggest differentiator when you are a customer of Credit Suisse? What do you, and I can answer the question, but I want to check if you know. What is really the big differentiator of Credit Suisse versus other banks?
Okay, so for me the question is what kind of bank you are looking for. What should your bank provide to you?
I want to look for a bank which doesn't make me lose money, first of all.
That's the first step, I would say.
Which is open all the time.
Okay, secondly.
And that's definitely the case with you guys. I mean,
but knowing persons like you or like Florian, you are entrepreneurs and you're thinking with a global approach to the things.
So do you have like a special team who is taking care of demanding clients?
Yeah, absolutely. Not only demanding clients, but understanding clients. So first of all, we have to understand what you are looking for. And we have networks in Asia, everywhere, in Israel and wherever. And it's very important. So for instance, we are going with our entrepreneurs for 1 week to Asia and showing them inside many deals and deal opportunities. But first of all, I have to understand what Florian wants. Maybe he's not interested in that.
Without disclosing the personal investment portfolio of Florian, but maybe you can tell us directionally, Florian, when you open your account and your relationship, with what expectation did you go into it? Like, did you want to preserve your money, or you want to make like 2%, 5%, 10%? You want to risk it all?
To be really honest, I think, as you said, you don't want to lose money, and I think that's foremost the most important part. But on the other side, I'm not in that business, and I really don't understand the business as good as I do understand my technical business. Therefore, you have to trust into people. And here again, you know, I'm super happy if I don't have to go to my bank and if I don't have to meet people there. I just want to have somebody responsible who I trust and who I can do a quarterly or a half-a-year meeting, and this is it. And I think that's also from a technology point of view where there has to be change, because it's really an old-fashioned meeting too often and getting information sometimes I don't know, I don't want to see. I really want to see the important part. So that was, or is my expectation, and I think there's a lot of space for improvement in this section or in this industry at all.
Now, let's assume I have too much money, which is sadly not the case, and I want to invest in private companies. You said your bank is big, well-known, amazing brand, and you have access to capital raise of these big giants, let's call them unicorns.
No.
Have you helped people like Florian and myself with a bit, in my case, not the ability yet, but maybe at some point, could you help us getting into a private capital raise of an Airbnb, or have you done unicorn capital transactions for your private clients?
No, that's the one thing, but I think that's even not a unique argument. For me, it's much more interesting if you look at the Mittelstand opportunities. So I call that corporate private banking, and imagine we have thousands of clients who are entrepreneurs. If you have a deep personal relationship, you know what's going on with that client. You know his plans, and maybe if you are not financing him, you can have a strategic discussion.
So it's more like a holistic approach to problem solving. Like you take.
So we are really focusing on Mittelstand opportunity in Germany, and as well as in the tech industry. But a lot of our clients are thinking in cash opportunities, and they have invested heavily on real estate. They have some banks, but this is something which, as an asset class, becomes more and more crucial.
Okay. And for digital entrepreneurs, you know, when we sell companies at NOAH, half of our clients, they buy a big yacht, like a boat, and you know, also nice houses and stuff like this. And for them, it's super important that they have a bank who helps them with the financing. Are you providing services like this?
Yeah, we are financing yachts, we are financing aeroplanes.
And that's like a very specialty product, not
Absolutely.
many banks are offering, right?
But the question is overall, does it make sense for you? So it makes sense to...
No.
For you?
Nobody needs a yacht.
It's a question of what you like.
It's about financing.
But at the end of the day, you know, if you see a private person like a company, if you make a balance and you think in scenarios, what will happen with your money if you have a deflation or an inflation, and then okay, in what kind of scenarios what do I have to do? It makes a lot of sense, and you have a strategic approach, and you can see if you can afford your yacht, if it's important for you.
So, Florian, for my private banker, you know, I like to hear not what he thinks I want to hear, but I like to hear what he believes is right for me. Did you have a situation where you suggested to Credit Suisse something, I want to do this and that, and they told you, Florian, that doesn't make any sense? And did you have like a discussion about that, or was it always an alignment?
I wouldn't say it was always an alignment. I think it's really getting into this, I wouldn't call it a business, but in this situation that you have to think about things like that, which is, of course, a good situation, but you have to understand the basics, and it's basically being more conservative or being more risky by the end of the day.
Is that the famous risk-reward line?
Somehow, but what is your expectation? And I think, as usual for me, it's really about a little bit understanding. It's just it's been a few months. So far, there is nothing...
Did you lose money yet?
I don't hope so. I don't know.
You don't even know?
No, because I don't have the time to check that, or I don't want to do. I want to do my business. So it's.
Do you have secrets you haven't told him yet?
I can't speak.
Maybe we have to have an afterwards conversation. No, but so far I'm feeling really safe. I'm feeling really good. You know. Yeah.
Okay. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much
Thanks
for coming here. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Marco.
Thank you.
Thanks.